So as many of you know, we sued the CDC because they had shut down the cruise industry for over a year. They said it was going to be 2 weeks last March. I was down in Port Everglades with Mike Pence and the CDC director. It was supposed to be a temporary thing so that we could kind of make sure people had supplies and all this other stuff. And it turned into an indefinite shutdown of a very important industry that affects a lot of people. So we sued. We won in the district court and won resoundingly. The CDC wants to appeal that, and so they asked the district judge to stay his ruling. He declined to do that. They asked the 11th Circuit to stay the ruling. So the 11th Circuit didn't rule against us. They just said that the ruling can be stayed. It was a 2-to-1 vote. And honestly, I mean, these panels are what they are. So we are absolutely going to pursue to get the stay removed, either at the full 11th Circuit or at the U.S. Supreme Court. I think probably to the full 11th Circuit en banc. We'll probably try to do that because right now they're going to be in a similar spot until November. And I think that most courts at this point have had their limit with the CDC issuing these dictates without a firm statutory basis. So I'm confident that we'd win on the merits at the full 11th Circuit. And honestly, I'm confident we'd win at the U.S. Supreme Court. They just basically said that 5 justices effectively said that the moratorium on evictions exceeded CDC's authority, and I think you'd end up seeing this here. But I think it raised one of the reasons why we did it was not. It's an important industry for our state. We're committed to that. But it raises a bigger question. Can you just have one agency in the government without Congress ever passing a law, just basically shutting down an industry? Maybe you don't care about the cruise industry, but next time it might be your industry. Next time it may affect people that you know or people that depend on this for their livelihood. So I think it raises a lot of important implications. Obviously, we want to get the cruises back. If you look, we gained 69,000 private sector jobs in June in Florida, and that's without having these cruise ships. I mean, so just imagine what we would do then, and then imagine what will happen if we get international travel back. I have to say, I was a little bit perturbed when I was at the southern border when I started thinking about if you wanted to fly from Brazil or you wanted to do certain travel, the way you would be treated by the federal government under the auspices of COVID mitigation. Some people wouldn't even be allowed to come. A lot of these flights aren't even allowed. If you wanted to go on a cruise ship, the federal government doesn't want you except under extreme circumstances. So they're very, very rigorous with kind of lawful commercial activity and travel. But if you just want to hopscotch across that border, they don't care about COVID. They're letting you straight in, they're throwing you on a bus, and they're sending you all over the fruited plain in this country. So I don't understand how you square that. If you're saying the cruises have to go through all these procedures because of COVID, wouldn't you want people coming from 100 different countries to just not be able to pour into the country effectively with very little pushback? So I think it's a huge, huge problem. And the idea that we would treat American citizens and their right to travel with more disfavor than we're treating foreign nationals illegally entering our country, I don't think that didn't sit well with me, and I was really frustrated to see that. Okay, well, we will be back soon. Thanks, everybody.